What's up, guys? We're clocking back into the office, and this time we're going down under.
Yep, and which movie just bust through the chest of Deadpool and Wolverine?
What's up, guys? Also, my phone's going off here. Also, is Keith Urban doing shows at gas stations?
What? Welcome to Side Dish. Hey.
Sky's the limit. Let's go.
Man, listen, man. Welcome to Side Dish. I'm Head Crack.
Hey, I'm Tanner. Happy Monday, guys. Thanks for tuning in with
Why
us.
is it Monday, man?
How was your weekend?
Short. Last weekend, I was like, yo, the weekend was long.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do with myself. Sunday seemed like it was a 48-hour Sunday.
Yeah.
However, this weekend went by so fast, I can't even wrap my brain around what happened and why. But yo, we had a hell of a time Friday night, though.
We did. We did have a good time Friday night. Oh, my gosh.
Big shout out to our comedian guest who came through.
Rosebud Baker, who came through last week. I know she's probably new for a lot of you guys, but man, she put on such a killer show. And Manoonan, her opener, Manoonan Hart, was that his last name?
Mm-hmm.
God, go follow that guy right now. He blew me away.
Yeah, I tagged you guys as well as Rosebud and Manoonan in my Instagram post that I posted earlier. So if you want to tap in on that energy, feel free to do so.
Yeah.
Woo, so much to get to. Let's get to it. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to our soulmates. Everybody checking in on Fox Soul. And also our dishians and side dishians who rock with us every day. Let's get into the feed, shall we? Woo! Robert De Niro.
Bobby D.
He celebrated his 81st birthday over the course of the weekend.
Man.
Now, when you think you're 81, you're like, hey, let's let's take it easy. Now, Robert De Niro's doing the most, and his daughter, Drina De Niro, is videotaping it all. Check this out.
Whoa, he's so crazy. Oh my God. Oh my God, are you all right? I'm okay. Oh, you sick.
Man.
You're crazy.
Just, diving off a yacht into the beautiful blue sea.
But
yes,
run that back one more time. Run the dive one more time, man. Like,
oh, do we miss the top? Is there a dive?
Yeah, like it wasn't even.
Whoa.
Okay,
so
the graphic
crazy.
keeps covering.
We might miss it on the.
Yo,
Oh
listen.
my God.
Robert De Niro fell into the water like
God,
he's
are you
chum.
all right?
Really?
Yeah,
Just
man.
like soft over the edge.
Like they was throwing the remains of Robert De Niro into the ocean.
Like we thought he was gone and dumping his body in.
Like, yo, shock his body back to life.
How many
He blew out the candles and he lost consciousness. Throw him in the water. But yo, he looks solid for an 81-year-old.
You know what, man? People are aging better and better, and it makes me happy. I feel much better about getting into my 60s, 70s, and 80s than I did when I was a kid.
I'm not mad at that. And and it's like Robert De Niro, who now shows me that I understand, because a lot of times we talk about stories about how older dudes be dating young chicks.
Right, yeah.
Whoever these young chicks Robert De Niro be messing with, is keeping his brother in shape.
Right?
Like, fantastic shape. He looked like he might be raging Red Bull.
Oh.
As opposed to Raging Bull.
Oh.
But he out here with it, man. So happy birthday to Robert De Niro, man. Can't wait to see you in some more movies, man.
Happy birthday. Freaking love that guy.
Yo, the bonnet blogger said Bobby can still get it.
Oh, shoot. Bobby D, she said. Okay, all right. The next one. Okay. The Office. You guys remember The Office? It was a huge, huge show. Obviously, Steve Carell launched him into superstardom. It's coming back.
What?
But HK, this time it's coming back and it's going to be set in Australia. Like Australia is getting their own version of The Office. That woman right there, instead of in the first version of The Office, which was created by Ricky Gervais, that ran for 2 seasons. He's like the dude. He's the boss of The Office. And then the American version ran for 9 seasons. We had Steve Carell playing. And now we have a woman. She's going to be the boss of The Office.
Okay.
And this is all in Australia.
Now, is this lady a popular comedian down there?
Couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Couldn't tell you.
If you could import anybody from the original Office to the Australian Office, who we throwing in there?
Ooh, Ricky Gervais is real hard to beat. He's so freaking funny and awkward.
Okay, I didn't mean that original Office. Like ours. Because most Americans haven't even watched the Ricky. You got to be hardcore to seeing the American Office and watch the Ricky Gervais one. Because I didn't even get all the way through that one.
It's hard. It's so cringy, awkward in a funny way. But
sometimes it's the accents. For a long time, it took me a while to get used to British shows because the dialogues are so different.
Oh, sure.
But once you get in it and understand their sense of humor, it's pretty dope. Because people talk about what's that show that used to come on Showtime with Fiona, Hank Gallagher, Shameless. Thank you so much, Kim.
Okay, yeah.
Shameless started out as a UK show.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And they used to run the not the reruns, but you used to be able to stream it on Netflix. And one day out of the blue, I started watching the UK Shameless, and it was actually, in my opinion, was better than the American one.
See, that's the thing is you'll hear some people who like are office snobs. They'll be like, the British version was better, but I never thought about that for Shameless.
Yeah, no, Shameless, the British one, it was a lot more centered on the dad, whereas like ours was a lot more centered on Fiona. Who, from what I understand, and people who I know who know her, hated doing the show the entire time.
You hate hearing that. It's so hard. It's so hard to get any kind of a show, let alone a show that's like big and runs for many years and makes you famous and pays you lots of money.
And I haven't seen her on much of anything since then. I think there was a Marilyn Monroe movie or something, or not Marilyn Monroe. She did a movie, I think, about the girl who was like the first pinup person.
Oh, wait.
That was on Netflix or something.
What was that woman's name? Betty Page?
Nah, not Betty Page. Somebody else. One of them chicks that be like in a little mechanic shops on the calendar or something.
Oh, like Rosie the Riveter or some shit like that?
Yeah, but like, I mean, but if you could put anybody from like the classic versions of The Office into the new one, who y'all throwing in there? Let me see who we got.
Dwight Schrute's an obvious choice.
You need Dwight. You need Dwight.
You need a Dwight.
But what about the dude that nobody liked that was in HR?
What's his name? Toby. Oh, you know they're going to get someone from the American cast to make some sort of cameo.
But I think you hit it on the head with Dwight.
Yeah.
I feel like he has the most luxury of time.
How's it not Dwight?
Out of everybody, you know, like, so yeah, we're there for it. Because John Krasinski, he's like killing people and stuff.
John Krasinski's trying to be an action hero now, which I don't know how to and he's been making the movies. Oh, wait, what's the where you got to be quiet?
Oh, Quiet Place.
The Quiet Place. Those are his movies.
Yeah, like, so he was like the writer, director, or something like that for the first two, and he was absent in the last one. Have you seen the third one?
No. That's the one with
it's Quiet Day One with Lupita Nyong'o. I don't know anyone today.
I know, it's Monday, bro.
Case of the Monday strong. Moving on, in our last Feed Me story of the day, there's a page that I've been following for a while. And
okay, I want you to know that I didn't know you were doing this story, and I haven't seen the song, but I followed this page. There, I ruined it.
It's a great
Go
page.
Follow it right now.
If you had to explain it to people, the There I Ruined It page, what do they do?
So, like, sometimes it'll be kind of genius. What it is it's some dude or some girl, whoever out there, and they're using AI, they're using music technology, and they're throwing the lyrics from something over here on top of music over here, and they don't match at all, but then they're forcing it to match.
Yeah, so they did that with the classic Reading Rainbow intro song, and I can't front. I like this version.
I can eat anything. Take a joke and blow some smoke.
Oh my gosh.
Rain.
Wow. Where's LeVar? How does he feel?
I don't know. Like, depending on if he's wearing the Star Trek glasses,
Right.
I think,
He's got his Gordy shades on.
No one rocks the Gordys outside of him.
Right? Like, that was such an iconic look. I used to put my sister's like hair clamps over my forehead so that they would be like this, and I would be like, I'm like Gordy.
That's genius. That's low-key genius. Yo, but in the same space of There I Ruined It, I was watching a clip this weekend, and maybe we'll run it tomorrow, where Hop to a Girl was in the middle of an interview with somebody, and he was asking about like her favorite rappers, right? Yeah. And she's like, yeah, like I like old school rap, like Jay-Z and da. But I don't ride around listen to it all the time. Like that one song, like New York, concrete jungle, wet green tomatoes.
No, did she really say that?
With her whole heart. And once you hear her do it that way,
wet green tomato, dude, that worked really good.
Yo, like you can hear the actual song playing at the same time, and it'll be stuck in your head. There, she ruined it.
Did you ever see that skit? I think it was on like, I don't know if it was Conan O'Brien or Jimmy Fallon or whatever, but it was a skit, and it was Paul McCartney.
Okay.
And he's on the show talking about the writing, about how the Beatles used to write songs. And I think that this is just for the skit, but he's talking about in the beginning, they would get the melody and then just put whatever words in, which Steven Tyler famously does. And I think Mick Jagger did. But Paul McCartney's talking about they were writing the song yesterday and they couldn't figure it out. So originally it was scrambled eggs. Oh, you know, I love some scrambled eggs. And they would just sing about scrambled eggs until they figured out yesterday.
sometimes, it's better to just put something in there versus like just mumbling it. Cause like I've heard like Kanye West demos.
Oh, yeah.
And it's brilliant when you see what they turn into. But when you hear some of these demo versions of some of his records, it'll just be like, and then later on he traces it back and then like will do real words there.
So people do that. People will like scat to hit the thing, to get the melody right. I know.
It's a weird version of freestyling.
Weird version. Sad news, guys. Got to transition. There's no easy way to do it. Phil Donahue passed away yesterday. He was 88 years old. He's an Emmy-winning talk show host, journalist, media personality. He had a long illness. His family confirmed it, and he was surrounded by family, including his wife, of 44 years when he passed on. Gosh, he was huge. He was so huge in the 80s and 90s. I remember him with his glasses.
Yeah.
Right?
I always, in my head, I put him and Sally Jesse Raphael together as a couple.
Yeah.
And you ever put together a story of how people met? Because in my head, Donahue met Sarah Jesse Raphael at a 1-hour optometry.
I was gonna say Lens Crafters.
Yeah, Lens Crafters, a spot like that where they get you in and out. And they hit it off. They had things in common, and they ended up becoming a couple. And,
I like that version of it.
That's the story I put together in my head. What if you had to describe Phil Donahue's thing? Because he wasn't Jerry,
right?
He wasn't Ricky Lake,
and he wasn't Maury.
But there was a thing. Like, I don't know. You felt safe with him.
Yeah.
For some bizarre reason.
Like Jerry went full trash. And I think he would acknowledge that. Springer went full trash. Maury went real, like, who's the daddy? And that kind of just got to be his shtick. Like, Phil definitely had people arguing about things, but I think he stayed away from both of those a little bit.
I wish he was sponsored by Fitbit, because the way my man would run around that studio audience with that mic, my man was getting
because he went to the crowd a lot, didn't he? He would go to the crowd and get questions from them.
He put it to the peoples, man, and y'all felt the same way, man. Shalila Williams said Phil was an icon. Brandon said Phil was the blueprint. R.I.P.
Yeah.
Andrea K said R.I.P. Phil.
He was like the white Montel Williams. Phil would laugh about it. He would laugh about it.
No, I definitely agree with that, because like Montel also wasn't super scandalous.
Right, he was not.
He had, he would throw the ball straight over the plate, tackle some serious things, but have some fun with it. Bonnet said Maury was scared straight. Guess who the baby daddy and fat babies?
Yeah.
Who was the person? Was that Maury? Maury also would have people who survive things, right? A lot of times children, right? Like, hey, man, I'm glad you survived that fire. Who's your favorite band?
Yo.
And it'd be like Backstreet Boys. They'd be like, that's great. Here comes not the Backstreet Boys.
People forget how weird talk TV was in the 90s. Like, I don't remember. I think it might have been Oprah had on the Ninja Turtles, and they flirted really sexually oddly with April, like insinuating that they all had a situation together.
I remember that.
And then, like, I think Oprah also had on, like, this is going to sound crazy, eat me up, Google it. I feel like at one point Oprah had some white supremacists on. Like, this was back when her show was crazy. This is before she's giving away cars. But people just do wild stuff like this in the 90s.
I think, the sometimes when your show is not all over the country, right? Where you occupy a certain fringe part of like the TV, television watching space, you could do the crazier thing.
That's what we need to do, HK. We just need to figure out what is the craziest thing that we can get going on. Like, we could do paternity tests, but maybe it's like, did you like her photo or not? I have the answer right here in my hand, and it's like a boyfriend and his girl, and we're trying to figure out, has he been sliding in someone's DMs? Is he in the DMs? Yes or no?
The DM police. Because you don't ever want your significant other going through your phone.
No.
You want a non-biased party doing it, just to kind of like, hey, you got something to worry about here.
The DM detectives.
We're going to workshop the name. We're going to get back to y'all. But the paternity test thing, I used to do that on Ricky's show.
Oh, really?
And corporate figured out a really great way to ruin it, and then when I got my own show,
was it all fake? Did it end up being?
It was written. Everything was all real, but they definitely was trying to fake it out, right? And then when it was time for me to do my show, they was like, "You can't take that with you." And I'm like, "But it's mine.
It's your bit."
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I'm not doing radio anymore.
Well, there we go.
Yep, everything that Tupac said at the end of Hit 'Em Up.
Moving on to Deep Dish. Man, okay. So many of us went to see the movie this last weekend. Alien Romulus is #1 in the box office.
Yo, man, it's a great movie.
This movie's so freaking good.
I feel like that right there, that picture that you see right there with that like little like
The face hugger,
that weird crab face hugger,
the angry crab.
that's gonna be a costume. Mad people are gonna be that for
absolutely, it's
Halloween.
going to be a costume. So the movie came out this weekend, made over $45 million, which is a whole lot more. They thought it was just going to make like 20 million, so they more than doubled what they thought it was going to make, which is good.
And I gotta point out, like a lot of people may feel like I can't see this movie because I haven't seen all of the other Alien movies.
Good point.
You don't have to. They call this in-between-quel. I think that's the verbiage they use.
In between, cool.
Yeah, because I think this movie falls either, and I'm sure Lee can get me straight back there. I think it's like 30 years before or after the first Alien movie, but before Aliens.
Oh, interesting.
And
Between 1 and 2 somewhere?
Yeah, am I right, Lee? My man.
25 years in between. All right.
Yeah, so it's like right after the first Alien movie, before Aliens, but also after Prometheus, which is supposed to be the start of it, but that wasn't really intended to be an Aliens movie in the beginning.
Right. They just kind of made
But yo, it's a stressful movie. Like, how stressed out were you watching it?
I went into it knowing that I was going to like it. I didn't go into it knowing that I was going to be so much on the edge of my seat. Yo, the guy who played Andy, the actor who played Andy, the synthetic, and when he's like, if you know Aliens, I'm not spoiling anything. If you know the franchise, if you know the Alien world, there are sort of like synthetics, which like you could think about it like a robot, but a lot higher level and a lot closer to being a human. And there's this character, Andy, who's and this is all they did. The other thing is like they did everything practical. So that right there is like the inside of what one of those aliens looked like. Anyhow, the character of Andy gets a significant upgrade at one point. So suddenly he goes from kind of being slow and not dangerous to like man on the move.
Yeah, and when you understand the depth that it takes as an actor to switch gears in the middle of a role to play another dude in the same thing. Chef's kiss, man. I love this. So be sure you check that out if you haven't.
It's like he went from eating Gilbert Grape. He went from Leonardo DiCaprio eating Gilbert Grape to Leonardo DiCaprio in Inception.
Fair assessment.
It's
very spot on.
It's kind of what he did.
So
I don't know if that's the right way to explain that or not.
That movie knocked Deadpool and Wolverine out of the #1 spot, but it's still doing great. It's the #1 R-rated movie of all time now.
Killing it.
It knocked Joker out of that spot.
Really?
Yeah. And I think you don't even have to adjust it for inflation. It just is what it is, man. So big shout out to the movie heads.
Okay, 2 things real quick. Tamara Jenkins, I did not spoil it, all right? I didn't spoil it. Anything that I've talked about is something you would have seen in the first few minutes.
Well,
so that's not truly a spoil.
The trailers I saw, I didn't even know there was black people in this movie. I really did not know that. Like I didn't know. So I was pleasantly surprised.
Oh, all right,
I was like, yo, we in space.
We made it.
You know,
we made it.
Because when you think about the history of black people in space, we haven't really gotten our fair shake, right? Like, what black person was on the Jetsons?
I knew it. I knew you were going to talk about the Jetsons. Oh,
they played us.
That's the biggest miss. They screwed that up. We got Martians. We got Martians on the Jetsons, but we didn't.
No black people. Also, Star Wars. It took the second movie for us to
Lando
Calrissian, who betrayed everybody.
Oh,
but he made up for it in the end.
Yeah.
Only to be.
But they did make him. He had a cape.
He did have. He looked like he's pimping. He looked like he was gonna leave.
He's mayor of Cloud City or Sky City, whatever.
And then he was gonna go to the Intergalactic Players Ball.
Yeah.
You know, after everything was all said and done.
Mr. Steelio Wookiee.
We was in Ice Pirates though. I'll give us that.
Oh.
That's a classic movie that maybe 7 people have seen.
Oh.
Let's move on. You have a story about one of my favorite gas stations / restaurants.
Okay. Who here, show up in these comments strong if you like a Buc-ee's. I feel like the Buc-ee's thing has just blown up over the last 5 years. I know it's been around longer than that. Well, Keith Urban, the like country, I mean, he's getting to be a legend at this point, performed a show at a Buc-ee's in Athens, Georgia, just down the road here. They announced it like the day of. Like how I got here, live at Buc-ee's. Wow. Now, all right, now I just want to show this video real quick. Look at how many people Athens, Alabama. I'm sorry. Look at how many people are around these at this gas station.
Firstly, I want to say thank you so freaking much for coming out tonight. This
now watch, here it goes. The camera's about to pan around. This is a regular. You can see the gas pumps in the back. Look at all those people.
This Buc-ee's about a month ago, and when I left, I went. It'd be kind of fun to do a show there.
A lot of my cousins, but anyhow, I just thought that was fun, dude.
Right?
No, that is fun. And I got to point out to the people in the chat that don't know what Buc-ee's is and have never been to Buc-ee's. That crowd, that's how many people are normally in Buc-ee's anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
All you have to do is add water. And there's probably some people that's like, that's not Keith Murray. And then they left because they wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah,
but that's dope.
Yeah.
Like, what's your favorite thing to get from Buc-ee's?
Oh man. It's hard to say. Their brisket sandwich is actually surprisingly good.
Yeah, I started getting it without the bread because I'd be trying to carb down. But the fact that they still fry their apple pies.
Oh yeah.
In a time where everybody keeps like baking everything to make you live longer, it's a labor of love for the people that work back there. So big shout out to them for that. And they also have their own beaver nuggets, like their own patented snacks that it reminds you of corn pops. But way more unhealthy.
Yeah, they're like corn pops, but with like more caramel and more crunch, kind of. And then the freaking Buc-ee's mascot is like walking around there for you to take photos with him, like he's freaking Tony the Tiger or something.
I love it. So if you live in a state that doesn't have a Buc-ee's, Google where the nearest Buc-ee's is towards you, and you'll understand why the fandom and pandemonium is just so crazy.
All right. Question for you, and for the people in the comments: if you could watch any artist at any gas station, who and where?
At a gas station.
Like they got to put up a gas station show.
Okay. So if I'm doing Buc-ee's, right?
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna have Crime Mob perform so they can close out with Nuck If You Buck. I just feel like
that's Nuck If You Buck at Buc-ee's.
I feel like it is a marketing opportunity that is just staring everyone right in the face. And if y'all do this, I need my 10%. Because that's $1 million idea. Now, if
HK won his money, I think you should get him his money.
Because I need it now. And also Wawa. Have you ever been to a Wawa?
See, I've never been to a Wawa.
Wawa is like the Buc-ee's of the East Coast.
Okay.
It's kind of like if a gas station and a bodega had a baby.
Really?
Because you could get like gas there. They also can make you a fire sandwich. They can make you a smoothie. They can make you a case. Just like a bodega. All the stuff you can get in a bodega, you can get at Wawa, and they make their own pretzels. And they pretzels, they're not them push cart pretzels.
Are you feel like, okay, who wins in like a giant monster, two giant monsters fighting, Wawa or Buc-ee's?
So before I went to Buc-ee's, I was like the spokesperson for Wawa. They used to sell pancake in a cup.
Oh,
because they understood that you're in your car and you want pancakes, but you're driving. So I used to be like, Wawa is the monster that can kill them all, but Buc-ee's just is bigger. It offers way more, and they also have electric charging ports for my electric car.
Okay, I just want to get some of these excellent suggestions out here. We got Ludacris at the Quick Trip. Come on. Okay. Then we got Lil Jon at the QT, also a Quick Trip. Fat Joe, but where you want him? Where you want like Fat Joe at 7-Eleven?
You got to put Fat Joe at, man, where would you put Fat Joe at?
Where does it go?
I would put Fat Joe at Wawa.
Yeah?
Like, Fat Joe gives Wawa energy because it's mostly an East Coast establishment. I think as far low as they get on this side of the country is like Florida. So like right before you get to Orlando, there's a few Wawas over there.
Yeah.
I always stop. So driving from here to Orlando is like Buc-ee's, about an hour away. Fill up on food and fuel. Then you get the Wawa when you're almost there.
Have you ever been to a Vallarta?
What's that?
So like, or a Valero.
I've been to a Valero. There's mad Valeros.
Yeah.
Great
Valero's is like
robbed.
all through the South, but they're always kind of clean and nice.
Oh, it depends on the neighborhood. I can show you one where they'll take everything you have. Who would you want to see at a gas station?
Man, I don't even know. I should have thought about that before I threw the question out there. Who would I want to see at a gas station? I don't know. Like, I really like Queens of the Stone Age. I could watch Queens of the Stone Age at any, what's the one here? Racetrack? Like the racetracks in Atlanta, they're real sketchy though. So
okay. You could probably do Morgan Wallen at like Racist Track.
Oh,
You know, because he got in trouble for saying.
Ah.
But to his defense, I think he was talking to a white dude when he said.
I think he was. Does that make it better?
Okay.
Okay. Are we don't have this combo now?
To me, it kind of, because I am very transparent. I call more white people the N-word than I do black people.
Sure.
I really do. And I don't even say it as a disrespectful term. I'd be like, my N-word Tanner, like, yo, we was out Friday night, and you know what I'm saying? Like, da-da-da-da.
Let us know in the comments.
Or maybe jokes. Moving on, man. Let's talk about some beef that popped off over the weekend. Now, 50 Cent. He is really pouring a lot of energy into the city of Shreveport. He has a big production studio set up there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Bro,
dude, Shreveport's down near like my corner of the country where I'm originally from. Like we'd go to Shreveport on a somewhat regular basis. So that's I had no idea.
Yo, this guy has put up a studio that could rival what Tyler Perry has going on out here once it all is complete. So he threw this big festival out there, and he had a whole bunch of like artists perform. It was called Humor and Harmony. He had, you know, rappers, actors. He paid the police like $500,000 to make sure everybody was safe.
That's great.
But one person who didn't get an invite was Hurricane Chris. You know who that is?
No.
That's why he didn't get an invite. Take a look.
Hey, what you mean ain't good enough, man? What you mean ain't good enough? My name is Flex. Look, brother, like Gumby. You talking about I ain't good enough.
I mean exactly what I said. You need more experience, all right? You need to work on your mixing more.
So that was 50 Cent's response to Hurricane Chris. But Hurricane Chris like posted a video where he was like, yo, 50, you fraudulent as F. How you gonna come to my city and not have, you know, all like the Shreveport, Louisiana artists out here rocking and representing? And it's like, you using us. And the thing is, like, Hurricane Chris, you were hurt because they didn't ask you to perform. Sometimes you got to get out your feelings and don't be so prideful, or, you know, don't let your pride be so high that you get hurt when you don't get the call. Maybe you didn't get this call, but maybe you would have got the next one.
Dude, that's my thing. I think about that all the time. Is like how you react to something is going to greatly affect the chances of it happening again.
Yeah.
And so you come out and you're like, this, that, and the other, and you're no good, blah, 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 blah. Well, what happens when year 2 comes around? And maybe we are looking for more artists. And maybe in this last year, you've released some new things or leveled up your game or whatever it is. Are you going to lose that second one because of the way you reacted this go around?
Possibly. And they had Master P perform at this one. Big Frida perform. And both of them are not from Shreveport per se, but they're from Louisiana. So there was Louisiana representation out there. They even had Fredo Banks, who actually is also, I believe Fredo Banks is from Shreveport. So, bro, the call was made. You just didn't get this particular one. And now you out there like looking and sounding crazy. You sound real bitter right now. And think about all of the people that now are paying attention to Shreveport because of there's all this industry. And all of the people, the locals who don't rap. Because, I mean, rap is important to people who rap. But to everybody else, if you're, you know, if you just want to work, if you just want to like, you know, like, hey, I want to be a vendor, a food vendor that weekend, all of those people had the opportunity to make money and eat. So it's not all about you. Yeah. And everybody was kept safe. There was not one violent incident.
That's
because
awesome.
of how much police
that
they had there. Because I don't know if you heard about, you know, things that happen in Shreveport, but
Shreveport, a little bit.
Y'all could have your own channel, First 48, based off the things I've been hearing. So come on, man. I'm looking in the chat. People,
NCIS Shreveport.
I love Big Frida. And they still talk about what gas stations they want to see artists at. Y'all are wild.
Oh no, somebody said, Tanner, just say it just for fun. I want you to know, Kia Mary, not now, not ever. Trying to get me Sir Mix-a-Lot at a gas station. He has a song called My Hoopty. That's true.
Oh yeah, you can gas that up right there at any gas station. It's
Wesley Willis, of course, he had Rock and Roll McDonald's, but that's a throwback. Yeah.
How's it go?
McDonald's is the place to rock. Rock and Roll McDonald's. Do you know who Wesley Willis is?
Nah.
Dude,
is that like his big song?
No, well, kind of. If anyone in the comments knows who Wesley Willis is, please slide in there and say how you would describe him. Wesley Willis is a large African-American man who sort of had this like pop, is very underground, like pop rap rock thing that he would do. And it was kind of based off of a big Casio keyboard. And he would like hit a thing. He was super underground. He might've only been like Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas. That could have been the reason why it didn't like, but people there remember him.
What year are we talking?
this would have been like mid 90s through early 00s.
Okay. You know, pre-internet on fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was like one of those dudes who like randomly had like 1 million plays on MySpace or something.
Okay. Kind of like the Rappin' Duke of the, do you know who the Rappin' Duke is?
I guess not, no.
Da ha, 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 ha.
Wait, what? Is that it?
That's so when Biggie Smalls says that on Juicy, you remember Rappin' Duke, da ha, that was him paying homage to that song. I hope I gave clarity.
This is perfect. This is the best. This is the best episode we've done yet. I like all of this. Got some birthdays.
Woohoo, man! If you celebrating a birthday today, you're celebrating with John Stamos, or as some of y'all women call him, John Stay Moist.
Oh,
He's 61
Uncle
years
Jesse in the house. Bill Clinton, 78.
the cigar father. Also, Fat Joe turns 54 today.
And Romeo Miller is 35. What a bunch of great birthdays today.
Yo, that is a dope lineup. Now,
Yeah.
to the people in the chat, we defer to you.
Ooh,
If
yeah.
you had to give one piece of cake with the biggest candle on it, with a nice little layer of frosting on top to one of those people we just mentioned, who's getting that cake?
One nice corner piece. You know what I'm saying? A nice corner piece of the cake.
Because that was solid. John Stamos, Bill Clinton, Fat Joe, Romeo
Yeah.
Miller. I mean, some people do regard Bill Clinton
That's
as
the ideal,
first black president.
What do they call it? The ideal cake lineup? You know, what they would say, like the ideal, what is it whenever it's like the ideal person that you're gonna share a cigarette with?
That's new to me.
No,
Like, when
the
you say-
rotation.
Oh, okay. That's
Right? You know what I'm saying? The rotation, the ideal. I don't know what we can say or not say sometimes.
Oh, okay. So you're speaking in code.
Yeah, there
So,
it is.
because when you say cake, I'm thinking like chicks in bikini
Right.
facing us. You know what I mean?
Also,
Like,
also a bunch of killers.
nice. All right. So, like, people coming through. Brandy said John Stamos. I had a crush on Uncle Jesse.
Yeah, we got Uncle Jesse forever.
Tamara Jenkins said, "Eat the cake, Monica. Eat the cake." It was something else that starts with a C that Monica ate.
Ooh.
Uncle Jesse forever. Kim B got that one. Fat Joe needs his cake, or does he? Sharon Clark. Does Fat Joe need?
Yeah,
cake?
come on now. Fat Joe gets a pass.
We need Fat Joe just to be Joseph.
Just regular Joe's fine.
All right, who you giving yours to, Tanner?
Man, it's hard. Like I feel like I danced the most to Fat Joe out of all these peeps.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna have to echo those sentiments and give it to Fat Joe as well.
Big respect to Bill Clinton playing the saxophone on Arsenio, though, right?
That was a big moment in pop culture history.
Yeah.
And also, times were good when Bill Clinton was the president. Even better if you were Bill Clinton.
Even better.
You know what I
Even
mean?
better.
Like, who could go to work and have those things happen to them at work?
Yeah. Who? Wow.
I digress.
I digress. Okay. Speaking of digressing, okay. Did you find this or did Kim find this
I
story?
found that one.
Oh, okay. This is good. Well, here, I'll let you tee it up then.
All right, man, listen.
All right.
There are certain things that you can do in a peaceful, serene scenario.
Yeah.
And just turn the whole entire room on its face just by saying certain things. Case in point, if you are in Texas and someone came and said the Eagles is better than the Cowboys, next thing you know, you're having an actual gun drawn
That's
on
a fight.
you. Sometimes it can happen with politics. Sometimes it can also happen with religion things. So there was a big thread that popped off over the weekend. It was like, hey, start an argument or a war in 5 words. Or 5 words or less, rather. Yeah. And some of these ones is crazy. And this one is kind of like, the first one is kind of like in your universe, because I feel like you said that this particular item is a sandwich, right?
I mean, do you want to say, okay, the first one is hot dogs or tacos. But is a hot dog not a sandwich? And also, is a taco a sandwich?
Technically, I mean, by my standards, it is. There is bread involved. There's something in the middle. It is covered. It is wrapped.
Does the kind of bread, it's so hard for me to, because like you could take tortilla bread and if there was like ham and cheese and lettuce, I'm like, that's a sandwich. But if you take tortilla bread like this and there's chorizo, cheese and lettuce, I'm like,
now it's a different conversation.
That's a taco.
Yo, if you want to like make a woman angry, you could walk in and say, you acting like your mom.
Woo! I made that mistake one time only.
And how much longer were y'all together after you said that?
Not much. Much at
And that's
all.
wild because even when people like their parents,
Yeah.
no one ever wants to be compared to their parents.
Yeah, especially if they describe a thing that they know that their parent does, and then they do that thing, and you go, you're kind of doing that thing that you said your parent does. They really don't like that either.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
More people need psychiatrists. Another thing
true.
that can pop off a fight in under 5 words is wine is better with ice. I agree, though.
Really, you agree?
I mix my browns and clears too. So I'm not necessarily like your typical alcohol person.
Yeah.
And also, I got to point out, if you see me drinking in a public scenario, unless it's a slushy like alcohol drink, I'm drinking because I don't want to be there.
Oh, see, now that's such a smart, a lot of people don't make that realization until it's way too late. And I'm just now getting around there where I'm like, oh, this means I don't want to be here.
Mm-hmm. Like, it all started when I used to host these parties at night, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the city I was living in at the time, the playlist never changed over a span of, they're still playing the same songs.
Sure, through right now.
So after a while, I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
So I would come in and I would just start to the point where I built up a crazy tolerance to alcohol. And the only thing that could slow me down or slur my words was wine. And then I started putting ice cubes in my wine.
There we go.
Just to like make it chilled and make it last longer. Sure. So that's why I feel like wine is better than, with ice.
Yeah. There's one scenario in which I'm going to retract my statement about not wanting to be there is if you ever see me at a Mexican restaurant, I do want to be there and I do want all of these margaritas.
They do the margarita thing pretty well. I do have to, because even the other night, what was I drinking?
Oh, what was that? Hold on a second. You had the fruity thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
The blended thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna definitely do
It was the blue blended thing.
Yeah, blue blended, but it was slushy. It like,
yeah.
So if you see me sipping something slushy and alcoholic, I'm having a great time.
I see the waiter come by. We're looking over here, and HK's got the menu up, and he's like,
because I don't want to say that out loud. Can I get the blue paradise, please?
Hey, can I get the blue? Can I get the bubbly blue paradise? Yeah, with the cherry, that'd be great.
No umbrella. No umbrella.
No umbrella. That's too much. That's too much to draw attention.
Let me run through the rest of it. Ketchup on pizza.
I will fight someone. Ketchup does not go on pizza.
I was thinking the same thing.
Well, okay, let me hit you with this.
Okay.
Ranch.
Yes.
Okay, good.
And but here's the thing, Tanner. I almost fought my friend who threw that out there.
Okay.
Like, it was like, how dare you disrespect pizza by dipping it in ranch? This is also at the same time I'm putting salt on my pizza still.
Okay,
however,
that's Heart Attack City.
I learned better, and now I live to eat. No, now I eat to live as opposed to
eat to live another day.
Right, but no, ranch and pizza is dope. But ketchup on pizza, fightable offense. I don't care how close you think it is to tomato sauce.
I know we have got to get to these quickly. I'll never forget this until the day I die. When I was in grade school, I'm going to say her name was Carrie. I'm not going to say her last name in case she's watching. She's not. Dude, okay. You remember you get the little tray in lunch, right? And it'd be all these different little things. And then there was like a little square for salad. This girl would go around to where the fries were and get a couple ketchup packets and put ketchup on her salad.
That person's probably doing life right now because no one does that and goes on to just be normal.
Ketchup on a what in the
And what city is this? Oklahoma?
This is Broken Bow. My hometown.
We need to find her on Facebook. One person said a fightable offense is like when someone says, "Let's put pineapple on pizza."
Okay, hold on.
I used to be at Tanner. I'll tell you a story real quick.
Hit me with it.
So I'm thinking this particular year, I was in the 4th or 5th grade. Our class had did the best out of the whole school on something, and we got to have a pizza party.
Okay.
But the person who was the champion of the day was a guy by the name of Joe Martinez. And because that name is very generic and universal, there's 100 of you. But you know who you are, Joe Martinez, who went to Indian Creek Elementary. Yo, when he announced that, yes, we want pizza, but we want it to have pineapple on it, me and my friends had conspired to jump Joe Martinez promptly after school because that was some BS. However, the pizza came and I was going to pick all the pineapple off and eat it, but I took a bite, changed my life. Pineapple on pizza is official tissue. And Joe Martinez is a flavor icon.
Flavor icon.
Whatever you are.
I remember I was also anti-pineapple.
Ooh, no, Keep Dappy wants to get jumped in the comments.
Oh.
Keep Dappy says cereal and apple juice.
Oh, kick him off. Can we kick him off the comments? Can we kick him off right now?
Yo, that is wild.
Cereal, is that just a fight? Are we just trying to fight right now?
Misty Butler said hot sauce on salad with the exclamation point.
Hot sauce?
I'm willing to try that though. I'm willing, especially if it's honey hot sauce too. I am willing to try that. I'll treat it like a vinaigrette, a spicy vinaigrette at that.
Okay, all right. Next up, we got dogs are better than cats, vice versa.
Okay.
Anything about popular movie shows? People saying Star Wars is boring, which like I'm a Star Wars nerd, and sometimes it is boring.
Yeah,
So,
depends which one you're watching and where you started at. So there's that, man. Okay, well, cool. Well, y'all are into some interesting things, and I'm gonna try some of them. Andrew K said French fries and milkshakes.
That's a good one.
Yo, I wasn't for it at first.
Yeah.
The gateway milkshake to do that with is Wendy's.
Yep, Wendy's.
Frosty and
it's a
fries.
frost. Yeah, huh?
And the first time I was with a girl who did that, I was really like, contemplating. I was like, man, so it sucks that I ain't gonna see you ever again. However, later on I tried it and it was great. And I continued to see that girl. She did other weirder things that got her kicked out of my life.
Oh.
But the Frosties and the fries, that wasn't the worst thing of it all. Big shout out to all y'all flavor pioneers and people who like to go in rooms and start revolutions.
I'm seeing this Bloody Mary mix and Modelo. That's good. Hot sauce on popcorn. I've heard of that. I'll co-sign that.
But somebody said hot dogs and peanut butter.
What? Peanut butter and honey sandwich? Okay, well, I'm not mad about that.
Okay.
Plain potato chips and strawberry ice cream and giant pickles with the peppermint. Okay. Brat was talking about giant pickles with the peppermint in the middle. Have you ever had one of those?
I have not had one of those before, but I understand the culture. Okay. You know what I mean? Because girls are into weird stuff, especially like women who've been pregnant, right? And I remember growing up, I'd be around girls who were like dip pickles in Kool-Aid mix. Mm-hmm. And have like these sour, sweet pickles. Mm-hmm. And I didn't like pickles enough to try it, but I understand it. I understand where it's coming from. Somebody said pretzels and blueberry yogurt. That's good, Bonnet Blogger.
I do. Oh, French fries and gravy. Come on, we know this. Someone out here, Pay Doing Things with a Z. Shout out Brahms. Listen, if you haven't been to a Brahms,
nobody's giving you more burgers for like $7.
Nobody's giving you more delicious ice cream. It's just like, just go to it's only in the Midwest, I think. I don't think it's on either coast yet.
If we had one here, I'd be dead.
Brahms is potentially the best.
All right. One more thing before we get out of here, being that you brought up Brahms. Okay. You know today's National Soft Serve Day?
Really?
Yeah. Soft serve ice cream. Not to be confused with the stuff that comes in a pipe. That's when the machine puts it out. People that go to McDonald's regularly, you might not know about this. The machine's usually broken. But man, they was breaking down like all these different countries and like which countries had the best soft serve ice cream. Every Neapolitan is the #1 soft serve flavor in America. I don't know how or why.
That doesn't, you know what? I've never heard someone be like, oh, I gotta get some Neapolitan.
Yo, whenever the Neapolitan ice cream, not the soft serve, but just like the pint,
tub
came into my crib, you know which one was always left?
Well, hold on, they're separating the flavors?
Yeah, because the Neapolitan, it would be segregated like the 60s.
Wait, wasn't it all mixed up though in one tub?
Not the brand we would buy.
It was sectioned off?
It was sectioned off.
Vanillas only?
I think I think J. Edgar Hoover was in charge of the packaging of the ice cream. No, dude, I would eat all the strawberry ice cream and leave the chocolate and vanilla to fend for itself.
You would eat all the strawberry?
And I would be so mad.
So that chocolate and vanilla could just sit there in awkwardness?
Ebony and Ivory living together in culinary harmony. Yes, absolutely. The strawberry ice cream was my go-to. But it was always whack in a Neapolitan scenario because there wouldn't be actual strawberries.
We used to get Neapolitan and it wouldn't be like sectioned off. Like one scoop would go all the way through and you'd have a little of each.
Oh, that's that. Whoever company was making your ice cream, they were being lazy.
Oh.
The real ones, they had that segregated vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry.
Wow.
And I would surgically go in there and I wedge a knife in the middle just to kind of partition it and make it bang.
What else? We got PCs are better than Macs.
Oh, no, that's
real nerd argument.
They stopped rolling the prompter. Vanilla ice cream is #1 in India. Matcha is the #1 ice cream flavor in China. And licorice is the #1 flavor of ice cream in Denmark.
That's interesting. I could try some licorice ice cream.
Just when you thought Denmark didn't like anything black, look at them.
Look at them. Look at them.
Okay. Denmark out here being great, showing the world how it's done.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Not like Neapolitan ice cream. Holding us back, keeping us separated.
Oh man, yo, listen.
Keeping these lovely flavors apart.
It has been a great Monday. We appreciate y'all pulling up on us. And shout out to everybody in the chat. Y'all are on fire.
Guys,
today.
thank you so much. I'm reading this and just like laughing. That ice cream was Jim Crow. Wow.
Didn't a comedian we see the other day say something about the Juneteenth flavored ice cream and what flavors they actually want?
Oh, so yeah, that guy's name was Luke Bentley. He's a local Atlanta comic, and I've heard him tell this joke before. He's talking about Ben and Jerry's. Something about Ben and Jerry's is like, last year Ben and Jerry's released a flavor for Juneteenth, and that flavor was.
It was two un-Juneteenth-y things.
Well, the first thing is he throws a big pause in there, and he says that whatever you were thinking was probably racist, but the flavor was actually,
very bizarre stuff man.
Yeah.
So, happy National Soft Serve today. Rest in peace, Phil Donahue, and go see Alien Romulus, and don't let nothing.
Yeah, go see that movie. Go see that movie. Get you some M&Ms with your popcorn, maybe.
Oh, that's my vibe right there. And when I try to go low carb with it, and I'm gonna probably get kicked out of the barbecue. However, I went to Sprouts the other day. Okay. And Sprouts has like a chile, like the spicy stuff they put on like the Mexican fruit.
Yeah.
Like
tahini.
Well, it's like tahini, but spicy chile raisins, right?
Oh.
So I was putting Raisinets in my popcorn for a little bit because the hot popcorn with the chocolate from the Raisinets creates an amazing flavor.
That's interesting.
So I'm like, okay, I know it's late August. I still want abs. So what I did is I smuggled this little thing of raisins that I bought from Sprouts with the spicy chili stuff on it, and I poured the raisins into the popcorn. It wasn't as good as the Raisinets. However, every now and then I get a fistful of like pretty good flavor. But it just reminded me of all the times that people was complaining that people was putting raisins in potato salad. And I just want to let y'all know this isn't that. Because my raisins are spicy. All right.
Raisins in the potato
I'm going to go
salad.
on that note.
Spicy mayo. That's why they don't let me come.
Before we say bye, should we close the show leaning back in honor of Fat Joe? Who we get?
I don't even know. But
we got to go a little person lean back as our camera. Lean back. We'll see y'all on Monday or Tuesday. We'll see you on Tuesday.
Let you know from the gate, I don't go down, cutie. Something like that.